Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to Outdated Gamer. My name is Bernie, and today I'm going to be talking about my Halloween game, and that is Resident Evil Zero. And Resident Evil Zero, it's one of the few Resident Evil games that I didn't play it. I was curious to try out because this is kind of a game that it's not really something that a lot of people talked about, and usually it gets overshadowed by Resident Evil Remake, which has way more popularity than Resident Evil Zero for some reason. And I was curious. I played the Wii version. I know it's not the best version right now. I think if you want to get the best version, I think the HD version is the way to go, especially because they updated the controls. So if you don't like 10 controls, that version um, has that possibility to change the controls as the way you want it. I have nothing against 10 controls, and that's why I played the Wii version. But if you don't like the controls, go for the HD version, which is really beautiful, and it looks fantastic in HD. I was seeing some gameplay footage, and it looks amazing. But I have to say that the Wii slash GameCube version still look fantastic as well, and this is one of the games that I think age it's not a thing for them. I mean, this game still looks legit. This game has one of the best visuals on the GameCube. But I have to say, of course, this game uses pre-rendered backgrounds, and that's why they managed to get so much detail on the characters and whatnot. But it's really good, and it makes really good usage of lightning and whatnot, and the tree in the pre-rendered backgrounds look really clean, especially if you play on Charity TV. It looks absolutely amazing. So this was a game that I played for Halloween, and this was something that I was super curious to try out. So the core experience, it's still very close to Resident Evil, the traditional Resident Evil games, which is fixed angle cameras. Basically has a more slow paced experience, which is more focused on exploration, surviving, and puzzle solving, and that's pretty much this game. But this game has one of the big twists, and I think it's one of the things that makes this game probably the hardest Resident Evil game that I've played, and that's the fact that now you have two characters. And you may be thinking, okay, you have two characters, so it's pretty much easier to survive because it's two characters killing zombies, so you have more chances to survive. Well, I have to say that's kind of a wrong idea because, to be honest, even though you have a partner to help you out on the journey, that means you have to take care of two characters. So these two characters have health, and these two characters requires as well ammo, and you need to really do a great job in ammo management if you want to get the best out of it, because this game, it's truly challenging because of this solo reason. You have two characters now, and the amount of bullets and the amount of health um, items you have in this game, it's not really that much. So you're gonna be struggling a little bit. And one of my biggest suggestions for people who are getting started with this game, it's save often. Like, don't feel bad for saving a lot, because that's totally okay. Because I think the best thing you could do with this game, this is what I did with this game because it was my first playthrough, and I knew that I wouldn't get like a good grade on the first playthrough. In fact, I got a D, which is really low, and I think I even got better on Resident Evil Remake, because that's the thing. This game is fucking hard and punishes you really badly if you spend way too much bullets in one certain enemy. And that's why I think it's really crucial to save often. Like, don't be afraid to go back and save, because that's one of the things I truly recommend, because bullets are really limited and you definitely gonna need those, especially if, later in the game where there's a lot of enemies to defeat. And that's the thing about the game, and that's what makes the game so challenging. So, you know, And having two characters, it's way more stressful, especially because there are certain parts in the game that you have to split between characters so you don't have those two characters to help each other. And sometimes you have to decide between which character you should move into this certain part. So it makes it more stressful because of that, because even though you have two characters, there are certain moments you can't really use the two of them. So the game works like this. So basically you control one, the other one follows you, or if you wanted, you can make that character stay on that exact same position as you explore the other areas. So and you basically you can set it up how the NPC works with you. So and that's the thing. One of the things you will notice about this game, it's the pace. This game, it's a little bit slower because you have to stop more, to switch between items and with characters and whatnot, because there's often times that if your character doesn't have enough space to save this key, you have to switch between the other character and grab the key. So that's something that it's going to be very often to happen, and I think that's why some people got turned off about this game. It's the fact that item management, it's kind of a nightmare in this game. You have to stop a lot, trade out items and whatnot. But there's a really cool feature about this game, and that's the fact that you can drop the items anytime in this game, and if you check it up the map, you can see where you drop the items. So imagine, let's say you have a key that you don't think you're gonna use it soon enough, so you can just drop it on the floor, and and then later on get it because they don't disappear. And even ammo, weapons and whatnot, don't feel afraid, because that's one of the biggest things about this game. It's you can drop your items any place and you can go back and grab it because they are mentioned on the map, and you can just search map the items there's you know that you left on the map. So that's really really cool, and I really like that feature, and I think makes more sense than having like a item box where items get transferred between item box. I don't think that makes sense. I think it makes more sense to be able to drop items and to get them later on. I think that idea, it's amazing. Now, in terms of level designs and whatnot, this game, it's really interesting. And this is probably my favorite first level in Resident Evil, I have to say. So basically, the first level, it's this train level, and I think it's so cool because it really shows how the mechanic works, and how the switching mechanics, and how you have to solve the puzzles and whatnot by switching characters. It's a really interesting approach. But what I have to say about this, it's you know this game is not as challenging when it comes to puzzle solving. I don't think the puzzles in this game are hard, to be fair, and even the level designs, it's really really a little bit more simplified than Resident Evil remake. It feels a little bit more easier to explore areas. It's not as confusing. But again, one of the things I realize as well, it's you're probably gonna be more worried about you're surviving, than actually solving puzzles. And I don't think puzzles in this game are particularly hard, to be honest. But with that said, I think one of the biggest issues in this game, it's probably just the item management, and I think that's what probably turned off some people, I have to say. But personally, I didn't have any issue with it. This is a game you kind of have to take it slowly, and it's a good representation of what a survival horror should be. But again, this is not an easy game by any means, and if you are kind of afraid to play a game, and get stuck, which can definitely happen, and it actually happened to me, like spending too much bullets in one situation, and I have to roll back a few loads to actually get a better performance on the game, on my playthrough. So that's one of the things I always recommend to people when playing this game, especially on normal difficulty. I'm not sure how easy is the easy mode. But on normal, you certainly have to be careful and save often for this game. So that's all I have to say for today, guys. Hopefully, you guys had a fantastic Halloween, and I want to hear you guys. What did you guys play for your Halloween days, and or if you ever played a game on your Halloween? So again, guys, thank you for watching, and see you guys next video.